I love pop songs. I told you I love Taylor Swift, and I love Avril Lavigne, but I also love the Libertines and the Arctic Monkeys, and like, and I'm just trying to like mix some sort of middle ground, you know. Like I want to sing pop songs, and I want to sing like about female issues also, and like I want to sing about things from like a feminine perspective. Yeah. But like I also wanted to like for it to hit like those records do that I love, you know. I don't know, like there's a lot about new pop music that I think is great. Like I love all the sub stuff, and I love all the like cool hi-hats and things. Like there's a lot that I really like in modern pop music that I want to bring into my music too nowadays. Like the new stuff that I'm working on is kind of a mix of that. Like I want it to sound organic and like guitar driven, but I also wanted to I wanted to sound like toy boxy and glitchy and fun, you know. Like I love that. I love the fun elements of pop music and the ear candy and cowbells and twinkly things, you know. Like yeah, I want a bit of all of it.
So, Zoo, thank you for chatting to us.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. And for people who don't know who you are and they're watching this, we're going to explain and we're going to get into it. Because Zuzu is amazing. I fucking love your music.
Oh, thank you so much.
Do you know why? Because it sounds like you. Because
that's all I want.
Exactly. It's like so when I was talking to Tom Grennan the other day, he sounds like him.
Yeah, he does.
You sound like you, and everyone that you love in music, if you're really into music, it's because of their personality, whether it's a band or a solo artist, whatever it is.
For sure.
Whereas, you know, all that sort of baked, sort of processed pop, and it could be, you know, you could interchange the members of the band or the singer, and it'd just be, it's kind of like wallpaper music.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
I hear that. Well, thank you. I'll take that as a big compliment.
Good, thank you. Well, it's meant. So, I mean, like, apart from Tom, everyone we've spoken to so far are like, they've been doing music for donkey's years. Like, the last person interviewed before you was a guy called Guy Pratt, who's, you know, Pink Floyd, Madonna, blah, blah, blah. Donkey's years, like 30-odd years. So that's why it's really interesting to talk to you, because you're not a newcomer, but you're new. If you know what I mean. So you've got a different set of experiences. You haven't been doing it for forever.
No.
So you've got that totally different perspective on music. So what I want to ask first is, why on earth music? Why?
I ask myself that every bloody day. Honestly, I ask myself that question all the time. I'm like, why music? Of all the things in the world that are achievable and fun, I chose music. And music obviously is fun, but it's like, it's also heartbreaking at the same time. It's hard to explain to people who don't work in music, like how it's just a bit of a weird thing, you know. But I guess for me, I just never wanted to do anything else other than own a lot of animals. Like from as soon as I can remember, like I have a special needs sister. She's older than me. She's 40 and she lives at home, and she's always going to live at home. But she's obsessed with the Beatles and ABBA, and she's obsessed with music. She'll play it all day, every day. So from as long as I can remember, I've always just had music in my life, and I wanted to play music. I wanted to write songs from as soon as I started singing, you know. So for me, there was just nothing. There was never any other option.
Right. So what? I mean, what did you? Obviously, you got a fantastic guitar collection as well.
It's all right.
Yeah, but why guitar as well?
Because as I got older, my older brother was in a band for a minute.
Right,
like,
okay.
A minute. And I was like, I copied everything my brother did, and my parents moved from Liverpool to Oxfordshire.
Right. Okay.
When I was like 12, so that was mad. And the only person I really had as a mate was my brother for a long time. And I just looked up to him and I wanted to do everything he did. So as soon as he started playing bass, I was like, I want to play guitar. And all the bands that he listened to, like Blink-182 and the Arctic Monkeys, those were my bands then. And I just never let go of that dream, you know. I was like, I want to be in a band. And he moved on, but I was like, no, I want to be in a band. So yeah, I guess the Arctic Monkeys, the Libertines, Blink-182, those bands really made me want to play guitar. And Avril Lavigne too. Let's not forget how sick she is.
She is, yeah. Loads of people are snobby about her because she's like, you know, she's awesome.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I hate that people are snobby about Avril Lavigne. Yeah. I mean, like, her early records were all I had, you know. Like, honestly, she was one of the only people that, other than Taylor Swift when she first came on the scene and I was a kid, like when I was 12, 13, Taylor Swift, she was 16 and she put out her first record. And I thought she was the coolest thing ever. I was like, oh, girl, playing guitar, writing songs about being sad. I was like, yes, I'm here for it. Yeah. And the same with Avril Lavigne. And I still hold on to those artists today because they are one of the reasons I feel like there was a space for me. I felt like there was a space for me because of them. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's the same with all those things. And it's funny that you said your brother was in a band for a minute and then moved on. But you were like, no, this is my thing. Yeah. Because when I first joined bands, I was with, you know, you're with your mates or whatever. Same thing, you know, they're in it for a minute. Yeah. And then they go off and get a job in a bank or whatever it is they do, or in a car show. They get on with their lives. Yeah. And you're just going, no, I'm doing this. Yeah, it's going to happen. Exactly. It's going to be fine for some reason. So, exactly. So, you're signed to Virgin, right? Yeah, well, yeah. So how did that come about? I knew my A&R guy from a previous life. Right, okay. And he got a job at Virgin and he gave me a record deal. Oh. Like, I've been making music. Like, I signed my first ever deal when I was 14. And right, okay. I got in pretty young and pretty hard. Mm-hmm. And as a result, I've kind of been chewed up and spat out multiple times. Right, okay. And, you know, I'm still convinced it'll happen again. That's music, you know, and like that's what I'm talking about earlier. Like it's like a series of heartbreaks, you know. And even if it goes well, it's still like you're still always moving on and you're still always, and that's hard, you know. Like it's hard to even just moving on from band members, like you know, that's hard. It's hard when you've been on tour with people for 2 years and then it's like they've got a project and you're buzzing for them because they're your mate. But then you're like, shit, I've got to go back to touring like without someone and like without someone who's like your family, and that's heartbreaking. And it's like that all the time with people you work with. So yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. Yeah, but it's the same way as writing songs, though, isn't it? Coming up with music, it's like it's that continual thing of trying to do something that's not the same as it was before, but it means something to you. And then once you've done it, you're like, yeah, but I could have done this. It could have been better. And you're like, oh, do I even like it anymore? What is it anymore? Yeah, fully, 100%. And now I try and tell myself, you're just doing that thing that you're doing when you finished it, and then you're like, it's not good, but it is good. You're just doing that thing. You have to tell yourself that you're acting the way you are because of whatever, you know. Yeah. So how do you write songs? Because obviously it's you, and we'll get onto like working with other people. But obviously you come up with the idea, the concept, the chord change, the melody, all them things. Sure. Where? How? Because a lot of people have no idea. I know, it's weird, isn't it? Because it's different every time, but at the same time, it's not. So like sometimes I'll just be chilling and I'll be like, oh, I've got, like, when I'm driving, I always come up with melodies. I don't know why. It's just when I'm driving, I come up with melodies. And so, like, whenever I pull over, I'm like, first thing I do is get out my voice notes and I'm like, like into my phone. And then, and I'll just be going about my business. And then when I come home, I'm like, oh, I had that thing. And I'll pick up my guitar. Or sometimes if I'm on tour, our Curran, who's in my band, he's my producer, he's my boyfriend of 8 years, so we're like tight. he cooks up beats all the time, and like he'll have one that he's working on, and I'll be like, ooh, can I have that? And then he'll like fire it over to me, and then I'll just get my AirPods in on the van and just like just come up with some shit, you know? Like, so sometimes I do it on guitar, sometimes I do it over a beat that someone sent me, sometimes I'll go in to write with a writer that I admire and that I want to work with. So sometimes I'll go in with nothing and just be like, what's good, you know? So I like to just kind of write all over, because I find myself, if I just sit and write songs on guitar all day, I'll just come up with the same kind of songs. And like, I'm tough on myself. I'm not interested in trying to write songs that like I know I'll know within a few minutes whether it's something I want to put time into or not. Like, I'm self-critical like that. I'm like, this isn't good enough, you know?
Yeah.
So.
But it's funny with guitar as well, because you know, when you pick up a guitar, we all tend to go for the same thing every time. For me, it's probably because I'm a bass player. For me, it's always E minor or A minor.
Jokes, that's funny. It's always C for me.
Because you're a guitarist, you see.
Yeah.
But it's that thing, because you immediately pick that up, and that's your first starting point, and then you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm kind of stuck with this C now, and I've got to either get rid of it or create something new starting from the same spot.
Yeah, and this is why sometimes I find writing the melody is a good thing, because you don't copy the chords. And like, I think it's the Beach Boys. I don't know whether it was the Beach Boys, but I heard someone say once about how the melody never copies the chords.
Right, yeah.
And like, even if you write a melody over some chords that you like, but you think it's a bit boring, I'll always try and just like change the chords underneath the melody just to something else that fits, or like that I think feels right and different, you know? Because like, it's like you said, it's otherwise I just find myself getting in a rut.
Yeah.
And like, I know when that's happening, and I'm like, get out of it, girl. You'll be here all month, writing an album full of the same song. So, move on.
Yeah, definitely. So your relationship with your fella then? So he's your producer.
Yeah. He's what, sorry?
He basically, does he produce your stuff?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So he produces all my stuff, and he helps me write loads too, because sometimes, as you know, like, you'll start with an idea and then you'll be like, oh, I just feel like this needs a bit of help. Like, I'll get to a point. Sometimes I'll sit there and I'll write a song in 5 minutes and I'll be like, it's done. Yeah. And I felt like I needed to get that off my chest. Normally it's about family stuff. Like, if I'm writing about my family, I'm just like, bleh. I was saying to Corin, I want to do a concept album just about my family, because I've got so many songs about like my granddad, my mum, and they're all just like, my granddad's a bevy head. Do you know what I mean? Like, all these things, like, I just think family problems, they need a whole album of its own.
Yeah, it is. The thing is, you can't choose your family. You can choose you can try and ignore them. I love them so much.
But you can write songs about them. Yeah. No, there's no rules against writing songs about them. Nobody ever said that you couldn't do that.
Exactly. So you're saying, obviously, you said you've been sort of chewed up and spat out a few times in the music industry. Because it was interesting, because I was talking with a guy called Jeff Dugmore. He was an old mate of mine. And I was doing one of these interviews with him, and he said, oh, who are you talking to soon? I said, Tom Grennan and Zuzu. But he said, oh, I did some songwriting with Zuzu about 6 years ago, or he might have got it slightly wrong. Scottish fella.
I know, Jeff. Oh my God, Jeff fucking Dugmore. It's longer than 6 years. That's longer than 6 years. That's got to be 10 years. 10 years at least. Because Jeff Dugmore, that I worked with him when I had my first ever manager when I was 14.
Right.
Yeah, so that was one of the... Jeff was a freaking angel. Oh my God. Yeah. I have the fondest memories of Jeff. And my dad was... Because in the early days, my mum and dad would come with me to everything, obviously, because I was a child. And so they'd come with me, and my dad loved Jeff Dugmore. My dad was in like a Scottish regiment as well, so my sister was born in Scotland, and they had lots to talk about. And yeah, I remember he has some wild stories, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
Yeah. He's great. Oh, yeah. Oh my God, say hi from me.
Of course I will, yeah. Well, I've been working with Jeff on and off for about 10 years anyway, doing stuff. And he's one of them sort of people you just get on with straight away.
He's lovely.
He's just lovely, isn't he? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, genuine.
Yeah.
And he's worked on some incredible things. Did he work with Blondie?
Yeah.
And Michael Jackson?
Yeah. Just basically anyone you can think of.
Imagine a life like that, my lord.
Yeah, no, but... So what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, so being chewed up and spat out, all those sort of things. Again, it's like, you're going back to what you're saying, it's that journey of like, heartbreak and then carrying on. Most people give up.
That's it. That's the trick, lad. That is the thing. I just will not give up. I won't. I can't. And like, I think that is the hardest bit. And that's like when people say, ask for advice and stuff, like, I feel like that's the best thing I can even say is like, just don't give up.
Yeah.
Because at some point, you're going to be called up and like, you've got to be in the game. You've got to be in the game to actually win it. You know, like you can't win the lottery if you don't enter. Yeah,
totally. And also, without wanting to put words in your mouth, the way I look at it, if you just keep going as yourself, then eventually enough people will find it, love it.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing gets that more momentum, doesn't it?
Definitely. And, you know, like record labels, all that stuff, like they come and go. Like, and I've always known that because I've had such a brutal experience from so young. And like, there's been multiple times, like even recently, where I've been like, why am I doing this? Like, what am I doing this for? Like, I just get so sad. And like, actually, there's a million reasons to do it. And like, you know, like you said, not giving up is like the hardest bit, I think. And like, that's the trick to all of it.
Yeah.
You keep going, eventually you're bound to have some form of success at least.
Exactly. And it's like, you know, it's that thing. It's like you don't have to be selling out stadiums to have been successful. You just to do enough so you can make more and only have to be able, and don't have to do anything else.
Definitely, that's it. Like, if you're living off your music, you are winning. Like, fully. Like, and that's all I want. That's all I want. I've got some like really nice people that come to my shows, and like I've got a little group on Facebook called Planet Z, and like there's like 450 people in there, and we communicate and we chat, and I do stuff for them, and I draw for them. And like, it's cool. Like, I think like communicating and actually appreciating the people that are listening to you as well, because I feel like I see people like upset a lot about how things aren't as big as they want them to be, but at the same time, like, you're not appreciating the people that are in front of you, you know. And like, there's young girls there who are 15 that message me every day that have started like fan clubs, and like she doesn't even know, but it makes me cry. It makes me cry every day to see that stuff. Like, and that is fully the source of it. Like, that stuff I was saying earlier about Avril Lavigne and Taylor Swift, like it doesn't even have to be on that big a scale, but even if there's like 100 Scouse girls in Liverpool that now want to be musicians and sing in their accent, and they want to go on and do them, that's great. Or just Scouse girls in Liverpool that feel like more confident in their accent than they did before, and stuff like that. Like, that's all I want, you know. That's all I want.
Well, you mean to them what, as you said, as Taylor and Avril meant to you.
Yeah, well, that'd be a lot. But
well, yeah, but you know, but you're their version of that. Do you see what I mean?
I hope so. I hope there can be some form of that to someone. That would be sick.
Yeah, and also I'm glad you mentioned your voice, the way you sing, because if that's what, because obviously I heard your stuff through Tom Dawkins, Jesus, Tom Dawkins and John Grennan.
That's like their love child, Tom Dawkins.
Oh God.
When John and Lindsay adopt Tom Grennan eventually.
God. Adopt a baby with a beard and
it'd be lovely. I'd love that. They can adopt me too.
When John said you got to listen to Zuzu, blah blah blah. Right. So as soon as I put your stuff on, obviously I'm from Merseyside originally anyway, so it wasn't a thing for me. But it immediately thought, that's so brave. I know you probably think it's not brave being yourself, but this might have been a thing that you had with previous management and record deals. It's like, did people ever say to you, can you not sing like that? Can you not be yourself when you're singing?
Oh yeah, massively. Someone came in once and was like, you need to soften your accent. They came into a rehearsal because it was like this guy who like does stuff visually. He's like, I don't even know what this was in the past when I had some random very, very pre-John Dawkins, like pre-John Dawkins. And yeah, he brought this guy in to like look at the band and to like stylize them and like give them advice. And like he came in, he was like, yeah, like he was Scottish as well. And he told me not to sing in my accent. And like, I think like that's the first time that I've ever like just been told straight up like, you should drop your accent, like as advice. And it hurt. Like I was so offended, and I was living in London at the time. And I felt like that happened to me a lot. Like even just in work, like I worked at quite a swanky bar in like in Kingston, and like people would just like make snide comments to you all the time, like, oh, don't run off with that money. And you're like, thanks. I'm not actually a thieving bastard, but you know. And like people don't realize that stems from like a really nasty place. Like that stems from, you know, Hillsborough and the press lying about Liverpool and the people of Liverpool. Like it's dark. Hi Fiona. Oh, Corin's mum's just coming because we ordered a milkshake and she's picked it up. Thank you so much, Fiona. That's okay. Sorry. Thank you so much. This is very late. This was meant to come way before our podcast started.
It's all right. We'll leave it all in. It's all good.
Ferrero Rocher milkshake. So yeah, I don't even know what I was saying now because I got distracted by milkshake.
Yeah, it's the whole thing of, you know, when people saying, you know, can you not sing in a Liverpool accent?
Yeah.
But
and people hate it, but people also love it. So
yeah, and as you said, it is offensive where it comes from, but also it's like, you know, whenever I go to watch Everton. And you get, obviously, we got the horrible match tomorrow, which I'm so not looking forward to. I know. Obviously, I'm going to watch it just for the sheer torture of the whole thing. But you know, you always get the away fans, and they always sing like they're the first away fans to ever sing it. Sign on with your dick in your hands, because you'll never work again. It's like, oh come on. You know, it's that thing. Like, everyone in Liverpool is on the dole and they're a thief. Yeah. Fuck off.
Like, it's just crazy. Like, I mean, I've never been, touch wood, I've never been robbed in Liverpool. Like, I've never been chased down or mugged or like, all my family and all my like cousins and close friends have really great jobs. Like, my cousin and my best friend, she's 25 years old and she's assistant head of maths at her secondary school in Liverpool. You know, like people in Liverpool work so hard, and it's hard to get jobs in Liverpool because everybody wants a job. So like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of those northern cities that get a bad rap for that, I don't even really understand where that stems from, because they are the most industrious cities ever. Like, they're so hard working. The work ethic of my dad and my brother and my mum and dad is next to no one.
I know. It's that Southern record label thing as well, isn't it? You know. But then if they think about their culture, it's like, all right, Oasis, Beatles, New Order, blah 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 blah. It's a lot of
culture vultures.
I know.
As John Dawkins calls them.
Culture vultures. Well, he's Coventry boy, isn't he? I mean, Jesus Christ. That if you want to talk about funny accents, then the Midlands, Jesus.
I know. I always I can't ever place it, but it's a good one.
Yeah. So, what also is I think is really interesting about you is all the videos as well.
Oh yeah.
Because they're like your music. Obviously they are like your music because they're about your music. But what I like about every single one that I've seen is it's pop music, but it's like pop music with almost like a sort of like a power tool hidden behind its back. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's a nail gun just hidden there, or like, you know, or like a kid.
I'll take that. Yeah. I'll take that. Because I mean, I just kind of I've got an angry side to me.
Yeah.
Like I was saying before, actually, just to Corin, I really like to use guitars as impact. You know, I like them to be spiky and angular. I don't know, I love pop songs. I told you I love Taylor Swift, and I love Avril Lavigne, but I also love the Libertines and the Arctic Monkeys, and like, and I'm just trying to like mix some sort of middle ground, you know. Like I want to sing pop songs, and I want to sing like about female issues also, and like I want to sing about things from like a feminine perspective. Yeah. But like I also wanted to like for it to hit like I like those records do that I love, you know. I don't know, like there's a lot about new pop music that I think is great. Like I love all the sub stuff, and I love all the like cool hi-hats and things. Like there's a lot that I really like in modern pop music that I want to bring into my music too nowadays. Like the new stuff that I'm working on is kind of a mix of that. Like I want it to sound organic and like guitar driven, but I also want it to I want it to sound like toy boxy and glitchy and fun, you know. Like I love the fun elements of pop music and the ear candy and cowbells and twinkly things, you know. Like I want a bit of all of it.
I don't know if you like this band, but what I get from your music, and it's not because you sound like them, because they don't sound like anyone, but if someone had to ask me to describe your music, in fact, they did. It was my missus this morning when I said I was interviewing you. She said, "Oh, blah blah blah. What does she sound like?" I said, "Well, it's kind of like 21 Pilots, but with guitars."
I'll take that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's sick. That's great. Yeah, I love 21 Pilots, and like I love that kind of like they're really pop. They're a great pop band, and like they've got a lot of weight and sub, and like that's what I want too, for sure. That's a great reference. I'll take that.
All right, good.
And I'll send you some of my new tunes as well. I didn't realise that you were actually into them.
yeah, totally. But it's also, again, with them, their lyrics, they're not the straightforward, you know, pop song lyrics. Yeah. And neither are yours. It's like skin and bone, and it's like flipping heck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's why they stand out, and that's why they resonate. Because, you know, I can't remember. It's just like in the opening verse, it was about the blood, the drops of blood, and the liquid this, and it's like immediately it's strong, but because the melody's really cool as well, that sparks an imagination for the listener, as opposed to oh baby, why won't you call me? I miss you. I love you. You know, it's like who cares? Yeah,
definitely. Like, and I think that it's weird because I always used to think that like, especially with Skin and Bones, I wrote the song when I was 14 years old, and like I didn't put it out for so long because it was actually really personal, and I've got loads of songs like that it's like I was saying to you about family stuff, like if I'm writing a song about my family, then I can't take that to anyone else, you know. Like I have to just write it, and like most of them never even see the surface of day, you know, and like that was one of those ones. And yeah, like I think it's important. I realize now that like the more specific you are, and it seems like it's the most surreal thing in the world, the more people connect with it, because like it's actually just honest. And like all people want out of art and music and life is honesty, you know. Like, and I feel like I was so scared to put that out because I was scared of having to be honest about what it's about. And then like once I did it, I felt like 10 feet taller, you know, because there's so many people out there who immediately made me feel less alone. Because I'd been holding that shit in for so long. And like, you know, some people ask me directly what it's about, and some people don't. Some people are just like, I get it, I know, like stuff. So it's a weird one. Yeah, like I mean, I was having like really crazy dreams, and like when I was a kid, and when I moved, like my head was fucked, and like there was a lot of shit that went down in my fam, and like it's very literal, the song. Like I used to see shit, and like I couldn't sleep, and so I would like have this like sleep deprivation and like hallucinate things, and like it was hard. It was really weird, and like I thought that I was gonna be that made me really weird and really strange, and I was so scared to talk about it. But now it feels like I feel liberated, you know, because I never spoke about it, never told anyone, didn't tell. That happened to me for 7 years, and I never told anybody, not even my mum or dad, because I was so scared that I was gonna be like locked away, or like I just had all the, because you watch films and you're like, oh no, I'm a psycho, and like, do you know what I mean? Like, and there's all these like negative views on mental health. Yeah. And like that impacted me when I was a kid, and I kept a lot of shit to myself because I thought I was going to get taken away from my parents. So it's weird. Yeah, but that's the thing with all of them, you know, like What You Want, Get Off, even the flipping Christmas song. even Distant Christmas has got that edge to it. It's got that sarky little turn here and there. It's that sark. But that's what gives them the edge, though, isn't it? That's what it does to me, and I'm sure, obviously, the people who love your music, it's the same thing. It's not the straightforward thing. There's always a twist. That's so cool. That's so sick. And like, thank you so much for saying that. Like, I don't ever really overthink it. I don't really think about it that much. But like, in terms of like when I'm writing it, I'm just kind of saying like whatever. Mm-hmm. Like that Christmas song again, like that. My boyfriend, he's American, mm-hmm. and like all of his family friends are American. They were all coming over for Christmas one year. I was working as an elf at the time in a grotto in Liverpool, and it was like everything just happened at once, and it was a really stressful time, and like that song just came out of like an honest place, you know, and like so yeah. So you,
and you turned it into a pop song. you turned it into art, because that's what it is. I mean, this is what everyone I've spoken to about is just creating something that means something to you as an individual, which then ultimately translates to people, whether it's 400 people or it's 400,000. Yeah, for sure. So what? Obviously, we're all hopefully coming out of lockdown at some point. Do some gigs. How amazing would that be?
It would be nice.
Flipping heck.
It would be nice. Do you know what? I don't even let myself think about gigs anymore. How sad is that? Yeah. I'm like, just don't even think about it.
I'm actually looking forward to us doing a sound check, which I normally hate.
I said that to my TM the other day. I was like, hey, what would you give for a load-in now? I would love to load in right now. Yeah,
brilliant. So what's next for you then?
I'm recording a lot. I've got some stuff coming out in like a few weeks. I got to work on one of my favourite cartoons of all time.
Right, okay.
And that is coming out in a few weeks. I think maybe in July, maybe beginning of August. I'm not sure what the running order is, but the first one out of the series comes out on the 25th of July. And I think our episode, the song that we wrote 2 songs for it, and that'll be out in mid-July. But I'm excited. I'm really excited about it because it's one of those things that just like that just doesn't feel like real life. Yeah. You know, like nobody hooked it up. Right. It was like I just bang on about how much I love it all the time, and then the executive producer just DM'd me and was like, "Do you want to write some songs?"
So which one is it?
Well, I don't know if I'm allowed to say yet, but it's Adventure Time.
Fucking hell! No way. What we'll do is when we do
it's Marceline. It's fucking Marceline songs. Honest to God, I'm a stand here. Look, these are my regular show toys. These are my Powerpuff Girl toys. This is my Adventure Time shelf.
Wow.
I've got loads of stuff. That's only I just love them. I love it. And so the fact that happened is like some weird witch shit. Like how did that happen? We got to go to LA. Well, we were in LA when they were recording the episode. We just happened to be there. This is my cat, by the way. Jean-Paul.
Jean-Paul, that's a good name for a cat.
And this is Edgar.
Edgar
Allan Poe, Jean-Paul Sartre. I was a bit of a hipster at the time. So yeah, they're a constant reminder of my hipster days.
Good, yeah.
But yeah, so freaking hell, it was insane. It was insane.
Adventure Time, that's amazing. Love it. I mean, through that, one of my stock phrases is you've got to respect the man's PBs, which is from Adventure Time. And I'm 51, yes. I shouldn't be saying shit like that. But
do you know what? It's crazy though, because there's so many phrases like that. And the comics are really good too, because the phrases translate into comics really well. And I had homies help homies as my like email tag for 7 years. And then one day I was actually emailing fucking Adam Muto and homies help homies was on the bottom. It's crazy. What is life?
That's hilarious.
I'm really excited about that coming out. I can't wait to see it.
That is, as you said, it's like some sort of witchcraft. How did that come about?
He just DM'd me.
That's amazing.
I just bang on about how much I love it all the time. And I think once in an interview I did with Clash magazine, I was like, I even said Cartoon Network gives a job. And I'm assuming that's where he saw it. But
wow.
It's madness.
That's amazing.
It's crazy. Yeah. And Olivia Olsen, the girl who plays Marceline, is so cool. And she's actually a musician as well. Like she came over to be on the Celebrity X Factor last year, and then we hung out a bit while she was in London. She came to some gigs, and she's such a sweet girl, and she's really talented. She's great.
You should do something with her.
I know, I'd love to.
Oh, flip it egg. All right then, so I'm going to ask you this. Influences.
Influences?
Yeah, but you can't pick Avril.
No.
Taylor, Libertines, or Arctic Monkeys.
Okay.
But 3.
Lizzo.
Okay.
Lizzo, because her music is banging and her spirit is even more banging. Like, I'm all about Lizzo. I'm all about that empowering energy. Give me some of that. Second, Diana Ross.
Yes.
I've got it tattooed on my arm. There she is.
Wicked.
I love her so much. She is like, I don't even know where to start on how much I love Diana Ross. I mean, like, obviously Motown. I listen to a lot of Motown. I bring a lot of Motown into my music. I love castanets. And then she's just incredible in herself. She's so glamorous. She's got such a soft, delicate, like, feminine voice, but she's also badass at the same time. Like, Diana Ross forever.
I met Diana Ross once. Yeah, it was at Top of the Pops, right? When Top of the Pops used to be a thing, and my old band, we were higher in the charts than her, so we had a bigger dressing room. So our management comes in, and they wanted the big dressing room, and we said, all right, she can have our dressing room as long as we can meet her, because we were all obviously huge Motown fans.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
And we can have her autograph. And the manager said, Miss Ross does not do interviews. And we said, well, Miss Ross can have the shitty dressing room then. So he was like, do you know who she is? And we was like, yeah, we're massive fans. We're only messing. Of course she can have the dressing room. And as we're coming out, she's arriving with like 100 security guards around her. And she's about this tall, so you could just about see some hair in amongst these huge dudes. And we just, bold as brass, went straight up and said, Diana, we're giving you our dressing room. Can we have an autograph? She said, OK, sweetie, no problem.
Oh,
Diana Ross.
Oh, my God.
I know. Wow.
Royalty. You literally, like, met the Queen.
I met the Queen of Pop. Yeah.
That's mega. I can only dream of such an act.
OK, so Lizzo, Diana, and...
Oh, God, now I'm just going to think. Conor Best.
OK.
I know. I've been a big Bright Eyes fan and a big Conor Best fan since day dot. At the same time I was listening to Avril Lavigne and Taylor Swift, I was listening to Conor Best, and his, like, I think he's one of the most, I think he's probably the most underrated lyricist of our time. Like, people don't give Conor Best the time of day they should, because he is the person that's probably inspired me the most lyrically, just to be brutal and to be like, I don't know, he's just so clever with his words. He says things that are so relatable in such a fucking poetic way. I don't know. He's incredible. So yeah, Conor Best.
Magic. That's it. It's been an absolute treat.
Thanks for having me.
Adventure time as well. Shit.
Girl, I know. I don't even know if I haven't really said anything about it to anyone yet. I don't know if I'm supposed to say it, but fuck it.
Well, I'll ask him. Obviously, this won't be out for a week or so we'll get the rough cut. I'll send it to you.
Okay, yeah.
And then maybe John will know or something whether we can say it. If not, we'll just go, and it's going to be on beep, and I'll be going, oh my God, You've got to respect the man's beep, and then
that would be sick.
People will know, but they won't be understanding it.
Because I mean, like, I don't think it's like, it's not a secret. I mean, our name's going to be in the credits, so
that's so
I don't think it's a secret.
That's so cool.
It's mega.
Brilliant.
It's mega. I don't know how life, what.
It's funny, isn't it? I know. Strange.
You met Diana Ross, so.
Yeah. Exactly. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me, and I'd love to hang out in real life again.
Absolutely.
Soon.
Definitely.
John said that you're a great writer.
Well, love to. We'll hook up.
Be fun.
Oh God, totally. Brilliant.
Sit. Well, thank you so much again.
Pleasure.
I'm going to drink my milkshake.
And fingers crossed for tomorrow. We don't embarrass ourselves too much. Just play the kids. That's all.
Yeah, do. Play the kids, for God's sake.
Let's get Benny Beningame on Anthony Gordon and just go for it.
That's what I think too. It's a good shout, I reckon.
Mega. Right.
Thank you.
See you in the real world at some point.
See you soon. Bye.